Hey y'all.
What's up? This is Angela.
It's Darrea.
And this is Where Are My Keys?
Yeah, welcome back. So last week, or should I say last week, we talked about the keys to long-term friendships, right? And just in case you guys, missed it, we want to make sure that you do have the keys to a successful long-term friendship. So some of the things that we mentioned, me and Angie talked about, were someone who's dependable, somebody who's trustworthy, someone who's non-judgmental, someone you can laugh with, and somebody who can spark creativity in each other, or someone who can spark creativity within you and push you towards your purpose and passion.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, I appreciate all of those qualities, because sometimes you need people to speak life into you.
Absolutely.
I was having a meal with one of my kids, and I was just boo-hoo crying because because I feel like some people don't live out their potential because simply no one ever spoke it into them. Like, imagine how pivotal that is if you're a kid or even a teenager or a young adult, 40 years old, and somebody convinces you or persuades you to believe that you can do literally anything you want to do. Right now, we can leave right now, get a birthday cake. It ain't neither one of our birthday cake or birthdays. But we can eat the whole thing and just be fat and happy.
Man, that is so good. And I feel like it's another topic that we could touch, because when you think about that and the fact that some people will give you, like, they will advise you out of something that you're dreaming about, because to them it's a little bit impossible, or they don't see how it can happen, versus them encouraging you or pushing you to whatever the obstacle that may be there, or whatever the stop sign that you might get. Like, you can still kind of keep continue and pursue.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's so good. We should talk about that at some point.
Yeah, so today we kind of wanted to talk about deal breakers in friendships. So a lot of times in our relationships, we don't establish those deal breakers and boundaries, and it causes us to sometimes overstay our welcome, or allow other people to overstay their welcome, and burn a lot of resources, time, money, patience.
I mean,
yes. But have you ever experienced that where you kind of felt like
a deal breaker in a friendship?
Yeah.
I feel like you always make me put on my thinking cap. I cannot really think about off the top of my dome a time where, like, something happened where it was a deal breaker for me and it caused me to exit a friendship.
I absolutely can.
Please do tell. Okay. Maybe it'll spark something.
All right. So years and years ago, I had a neighbor. Now, we used to hang out at each other's houses. Our kids used to play together, all that stuff. So she was a chronic complainer. Had a problem for every solution. If the cup is half full, to them it's half empty.
Yeah, I know some people like that.
Oh my God. And I'm the type of person that every interaction you have is either a plus or a minus. If you are draining my lifeblood, I cannot deal with you. Like, I love you, but I'm gonna love you from across the street. It's no good for me. It's not good for my mental health. It's not good. It's not productive. It's not helpful. So that is definitely a deal breaker for me.
That's true. Again, I don't think that I've probably allowed it to, like, just cut somebody off. But I do have moments where I will go in my turtle shell or in a bubble just to kind of zone out or get away from that. But I'll still come back to that. But yes, it's definitely.
Girl, really? How do you do it?
Because I just feel like, so I've been saying this for quite some time, like, just realizing and just trying to meet people where they are, right?
Okay.
Because we all got stuff going on. And so, like, even if you go back to the part about somebody pouring into you, like, maybe that person didn't have anybody to pour into them as to why they became a negative Nancy or a Debbie Downer. And then what if it was your gift, or what if it was, the path that God allowed for you guys to cross so that you could encourage that person, or she could see like, well, Angie, you always positive, and you know what I mean? But like, you always have something, positive to say, where I feel like, there's always something going on in my life and I just can't see, or I just can't, and you might be able to push that person to. Now, I ain't saying stay and stick around if you just can't deal with it, because we all know like mental health is very important. So if that person is just kind of mentally like draining you, you may have to, cut it off for a time, but like pray about it, like ask God about it, and, see if you can kind of hang in there, and maybe not the friendship so much, but just kind of checking in every once in a while. Hey girl, how you doing? Or,
I don't know if that's my ministry.
And it might not be. And that's okay. It might not be. And it's okay.
Listen, because that's how, the last round of therapy, that's how what got me there. Because I was like getting mad aggressive. Like, I was like, okay, I'm going to do God's work. I'm going to help people, we'll go into what my purpose is later. But I was really gung-ho about it. And so it's like, if I can't explain it to you and you don't see it the way I see it, then I start getting like, look, little dummy. Oh. I wouldn't call people little dummy, but in my head, definitely little dummy.
Yeah.
But I understand that people need to be met where they are, but I'm a work in progress.
Yeah, we all are. Nobody has made it. Nobody's perfect. So, but yeah, I mean, I can see that definitely being a deal breaker, because again, like you said, if it's draining you, if it's disturbing your peace, like we got to let those things go sometimes. And then maybe at some point in time, God will allow you to reconnect with that person. Maybe not. And maybe somebody else can, pour into that person. So I don't think you should stick around just because, oh God, I'm trying to work in my ministry.
Right.
If God will let you know, and you will know, yourself. So,
so you shouldn't feel bad about. That's why I hear you saying we shouldn't feel bad about it.
Yeah. I think so. I would say that a deal breaker for me would be personally like deceitfulness. Like, so we talked about
that's a good
friendship and long-term friendship, finding somebody who's trustworthy. So for me, if I find out that like you were deceitful or lied about something, like that kind of ruins a relationship for me. And so I'm probably side-eyeing you, so like to me, that's not a good relationship or a good friendship, because I don't know what I can trust that comes out of your mouth.
Okay, so is there any coming back from that? Like, do we have an intervention? How do you come back from that?
What do you think? Would you come back from somebody who's deceitful?
Listen, I'm an only child. So I enjoy time with myself. So I really pick and choose my circle very carefully. I'm very pensive about who I allow into my space. So if it is something that I categorize as deceit, it had to be something dastardly.
I mean, it ain't like, they said, girl, I'm coming over to 7:30, and then, they ain't get there to 8 or something.
No, that's me.
Not
she is me.
Not a little white lie, like, or girl, I don't know, but it can be, because again, those little white lies can turn into big white lies, right? I didn't eat your muffin, or I didn't, I don't know, but it had, again, it's just maybe a continuum of lies. Okay. So like, if I found out you lied about something, like, I'm probably not going to confront you, but like, it'll be here. And then like, if I figure out, some way that you've lied again, it's just like, okay, 2, and then like probably by 3rd strike, it's like, okay, I'm done with this. So I'll still probably befriend you. Cause again, I'm just like, I really love people, even though I don't like people, which is weird.
She does.
But I really, really love people. So like, my concern at the end of the day is for them, and for their soul, too. So like, I'll love you, and I'll love you from a distance, but then I got my eyes on you. So like, it to me, it just wouldn't be a great friendship. So it'll be something else. Like, we'll be acquaintances or something like that.
So that person will be like in a tangent.
Yes.
Like, I have your number. I text you every now and again, but you
nice
ain't
little box.
Yeah.
So we'll keep up, but not on a friend. Like, I just cannot have you in my space if I can't trust you.
Yeah, because I feel like if people feel like they got away with the little things, they'll continue.
That's what I'm saying. It'll be a continuum of lies. Yes. And you don't even have to lie to it, you know?
Right.
Like, just come on, like, be honest. Like, if I'm gonna be honest with somebody, like, I expect the same in return.
Agreed.
So that's probably a deal breaker for me as far as friendships go.
Okay, so along with deal breakers, how do we actively create boundaries?
I would say,
or how do you create boundaries with your
with my friendships?
Yeah, like if I said, Darrea, I really need like $500. Like,
I would give you $500 if there was a need and I had it.
Girl, what?
I would, but you're gonna
take the camera.
You're gonna pay me back, right? Like, it would be a conversation of like, I need $500. I, pay you back in 2 weeks, whatever. Mm-hmm. Okay, cool. And I can count on that you'll pay me back in 2 weeks. Or if you come back in 2 weeks, like, I ain't got it, like, just give me another week or so. Okay, cool. Like, yeah.
Okay, so
I feel like a friend. Uh-huh. Like, if you call me and you needed something, like, I'm gonna be there if I can.
Okay, so what if I show up with like a new purse
with that $500, whatever you needed it for? I mean, I'm just saying, like, I'm not gonna ask you, girl, well, what you need it for? Your light's about to get cut off, or you about to get put. Like, I'm not gonna be in your business like that. You tell me, you call me, and you're like, Darrea, I just need to borrow $500 until give me 2 weeks. Okay, done. If I got it.
Okay.
I ain't a baller.
So you're not asking like what your intent is.
I'm not, because it's not in my business. Like,
that's good. See, that's why this is my friend. This is my friend.
Because why? Why do I? So listen.
But I'm telling you now, if y'all borrow $500 from her and you show up with some brand new shoes,
you gonna be looking sideways. But you don't know. Like, you might have needed that $500 for something else, and maybe you had $200 of this to get a brand new pair of shoes. But I mean, okay, priorities, right? Mm-hmm. But I'm not gonna be like, oh, she went and bought shoes with my $500. She said she had a need and she's going to pay me back, and as long as she pays me back, like, we don't have a problem.
Okay, 2 months later.
Are you having a conversation with me though? Like, I'm gonna get you, like, I'm sorry, something else came up. Like, as long as there's communication. Because I've been in a place where, yes, I've needed to borrow or whatever, like something was going on, and okay, I'm gonna get you back in 2 weeks. Something happened with that chick. Okay, give me another, 2 weeks. I'm gonna get you on this, whatever. Or let me make a payment. Like, just something. But if there was a dire need, then
your heart is pure. Your heart is pure. Mine is tainted.
But listen, it reminds me of, so my husband, you know how you see people on the streets with their cardboard signs and they're needing assistance and help. They take anything, $1, change, whatever. So, like, mentally it goes to, what they finna do with this $2? Or what they finna do with the money that I'm giving them? They finna go spend it on drugs. Like, that's what we thinking, whatever. Or I'll buy them some food, but I ain't about to give them some money. But, like, again, if God is commissioning you or urging or unctioning you, like, go ahead and give $5. They ain't our business what they spend it on. But we did whatever God told us to do. Or we did whatever our heart, told us to do. So it's kind of like the same for me,
Okay.
Now,
okay.
Go ahead.
So, so my husband would say the exact same thing, and it's still, he said this years and years and years ago, and I find myself like, if I have cash, I will give it. At one point in time, if I read the sign, I'm like, oh shoot, I gotta give him something now. And now I try to avoid reading the sign.
Right? You see, you be sitting at the light pretending to be on your phone, or I still, to be honest, I still have a problem. That's not my friend, and it's not that I have a problem. Most times nowadays, like, I don't even carry cash, so I never have to get.
Right.
My kids are awesome though. They'll be like, Mom, let me roll down like, I got $2. Yes. And so whenever they want to, I'll be like, okay, that's great. Let's give it to them, whatever. And I really appreciate that about them, because for me, yes, I'm probably side down, like, and we used to talk about, you got this nice cardboard. Where'd you get your marker to make your sign?
Your handwriting too neat.
Girl, the other day we passed by somebody and she had a chair. Like, where do you get this chair from? Like, did somebody drop you off? But again, like, we can talk ourselves out of being blessed, to be honest. So if that person was, an angel or, whatever, like, God himself, you have no idea. So same thing with the friendship. Like, you have no idea. Yes, they can have a brand new chair or a brand new pair of shoes.
Or socks too clean. never struggled enough. Your socks way too clean.
New suit and tie, and you talking about somebody need to borrow $500. I got you. So yeah.
Oh my gosh, I got so much work to do.
Oh my gosh, girl, we are a work in progress, and that's to me partially why, not partially, but fully why we're doing Where Are My Keys, because while we're answering questions for ourselves, and figuring out for ourselves, we want to figure that out or help you guys figure that out too. So, where are my keys at?
Yeah.
So far, deal breakers in a long-term friendship or a friendship just in general, or somebody who's not trustworthy or deceitful. And then what was yours?
I have another one.
Okay.
Like, I don't like it. Another one that we touched on are constant chronic complainers.
Complainers, yeah. Negative Nancy's.
Yeah, we don't like, well, I don't care for them.
I mean, nobody does. Like, again, it's draining. Yes. And so you got to take a break from them and a break from, So, okay, what's your other one?
Another deal breaker for me are people who aren't walking in purpose. Like, you constantly talking about what you gonna do, what you finna do.
You talking about me?
No, ma'am. Absolutely not. What?
I mean, okay.
No, but it drives me nuts when people are just complacent. Complacency is not a great look for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because you're a go-getter.
Yeah, and I'm constantly thinking about, I'm always dreaming bigger. Things that are outside of my reach, outside of my resources, because those are where the miracles happen. When you take the risk, when you take the leap of faith. And to add another layer onto that, when you don't walk in your purpose, but you call yourself a believer.
Oh, y'all, she in my business. Don't do that. Let me tell y'all something. I just feel like, so we talking about these topics, but these topics lead to other topics. So one of my things, which is horrible, y'all, but I have a fear, and my fear is failure. And that keeps me stagnant. That keeps me complacent. That keeps me from moving forward because I have that fear of failure. So what if I do this and something happens? What if I do this and nobody comes or nobody listens or nobody cares? You know what I mean? So then I will keep my little idea. I have a million of them. I'll keep my little ideas and will not move forward. So to be honest, this podcast was me stepping out of fear and stepping out of my comfort zone, scared still. And God has not given us the spirit of fear, but we're human at the end of the day. So like, that's one of my things. So I'm sharing with you guys. Okay. No, non-judgmental, right? We're in a non-judgmental zone.
Not at all.
But yes, she all up in my, all up in my business. But I'm grateful for this podcast because even in this podcast, I am stepping out on some other things that I've, had again as a dream and have been waiting to move forward on, but being able to move forward in this and get out of that fear has allowed me to move forward in the other thing. So I'm excited about that too. And I'm just excited about moving out of fear and moving out of, being uncomfortable and not really, like, I am a person that, like, I don't care if somebody talks about me. I don't care, what the naysayers say, but like in the back of my mind, I still want people to be there and to support so I'm still, that other person is talking or that other piece is just kind of, still kind of like trying to keep me stagnant. So I'm grateful for that, for you, and for calling me out. For calling me out, y'all. I do. You know how you be in church and the preacher start talking about you, you like, how he know what's going on? He in my business. But yeah, so I understand, what you're saying, because on the flip side, you are, like you said, you're somebody who's whatever. So you want to, again, be surrounded by people who are like-minded, right?
Yeah.
So it's hard for you to be around somebody who is not moving in the ways that you're moving.
Exactly. Yeah. And it doesn't, like, okay, please understand me. That success is relative, but there are people waiting on you to do what you are ordained and gifted to do.
Come on to preach, sis. Come on.
So that you can promote them in life, and those folks promote others in life. So it's a ripple effect. So when people in general, my deal breaker, when people don't walk in purpose, not only are you creating a spirit of being stagnant and non-productive, you trying to drag me down. Or you're trying to slow my momentum, and I don't have time for that.
So question. So do you immediately cut someone off because of that? Or do you try to encourage and see if they'll, kind of move in the encouragement that you're giving? Or is it just like, oh, no, I see what she on. I'm out.
Okay, so here's the thing. Like when I share like a lot of my ideas. I really do, because I get so jazzed about them. Now my execution sucks. But
that's all right. We are working and learning, right?
Exactly. But if you ask me to partner on something, I'm like, yeah, let's do it. When we gonna go? Like in this podcast,
yes.
Like it could be, okay, excuse my language, but it could be half-assed. And I'm like, let's go, let's rock with it, and we'll tweak it as we go. I don't care about failing as long as I fail forward. As long as I fail forward.
And that's what Angie has said to me too. And again, just kind of grateful for her spirit. And we were talking about how we balance each other, with her being that go-getter. So I ain't have time to breathe or have time to like second guess or to say, nah, maybe it ain't gonna be a good idea about this podcast. Because once we talked about it, it was like, okay, when we meeting, okay, when we doing this and when we doing that. And like, that's just kind of how it's been, moving forward. And I'm kind of real reserved, like, okay, wait, let's do this first and like whatever. So I'm trying to like, and she's compromising with me, I know, and I'm compromising with her when we're, talking about what we're going to do, with the podcast and moving forward. So I'm glad that we are able to work together in that, sense.
And the great thing about that is a lot of times when you walk in purpose, those friends will come. Those friends will stay. Those friendships will be maintained. As long as you're walking in your purpose, those relationships will thrive. They'll be cultivated. They'll flourish. So those are the words for today. Cultivate, thriving, flourishing. But yeah, I really have to be with people who are you don't even really have to be a go-getter, but be moving. Don't be complacent. I hate complacency.
Yeah, and it's hard. I think again. So we talk a lot about how old we are because it's a factor, and I feel like the older you get, the less you're maybe willing to move or change. Because for 40 plus years, I've done things this way. I never really stepped out, on faith and did things that I desired to do or said that I wanted to do or I was going to do. And now you get to 40, and it's just like that. Like half over,
Girl,
like
please. I'm just let it be 100.
That'd be my midlife crisis stuff I be going through, thinking like I'm halfway, whatever. But yes, I would love to live to 100. But we just kind of I think we allow the age to kind of be complacent. And just most of us are working 9 to 5. So by the time we get off, we don't feel like doing nothing extra, And so then that's another thing that just kind of allows us to stay stuck, really.
Okay.
So let me say this before you move on. Everybody needs to get them an Angie. If you don't have an Angie in your life, you need to find one,
Yeah, somebody that's gonna be pushing you. If it's a bad idea or a good idea, let's blow it up. Let's magnify this thing.
And we're going to fail forward together.
Yeah.
Yes. I love it.
Oh my goodness. Crap, I lost my face.
That's okay. So we're going back and forth between like deal breakers, and then you said, what was the other thing you said? Obstacles or boundaries. Do you have a boundary?
Okay, so because
or any more boundaries? I think you gave me.
I'm joking, but I'm not joking when I say this. I hate people, but I need people. Do you feel what I'm saying?
Yep.
I'm not a people person, but I need people, and people need me.
We need each other.
Oh, I got a question for you. Yeah. Do we go into friendships with the expectation of receiving? Like, do you give with the expectation, like even subconscious or unsubconscious?
Like, should we, or is that you're just asking, like, do we, in general?
Just in general.
Probably. I think in any relationship. I'll start with like husband and wife. Like, if I'm doing A, B, and C, I need you to do D, E, F, G. You know?
Okay.
And I think it's the same with friendships. Like, I don't think you expect it so much with friends because that's a different type of relationship.
Yeah.
But yes, if I'm like, I don't want to be the one calling all the time, but I will. I don't want to be the one texting all the time. I will. Might be far and few in between if I'm not getting that reciprocity, but I'll probably still reach out. But like, yes, it should be equal texting, equal chatting, equal trying to get together and hang out. I want to be able to receive some of that energy that I'm giving.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Absolutely. So I think we do, whether it's consciously or subconsciously. Like, and I think that's just a part of being a person. You know, if you're going to give something out or give some of yourself, your time, money, energy. I'm not saying like if I give you money, then you got to give me money too, like vice versa. Don't.
Right.
You know, but I'm just saying, like, y'all know what I'm talking about. Like, there are certain things that you just want to be able to receive. If I'm talking to you, getting advice, like, I don't want to always be the advice giver. Like, sometimes I need some advice, you know. So I think I would need my friends to kind of tune into, you know, man, I ain't seen her, like, she ain't texted me in a while, like, let me check on her and see what's up. You know what I mean? And sometimes people just don't do that. Like, you're always doing the checking, always doing the call. Hey girl, I ain't heard from you in a long time. Well, why you not calling me if you're my friend? Why are you not texting me if you're my friend? So to me, that is a problem. That's a problem for me. And so, you know, I had this conversation again with my husband because I was talking about someone that I feel like, you know, and it's not just one person, but I was in particular at that time talking about one person. Like, dang, I'm tired of like calling or texting like,
this
hey.
It feel like work.
Yeah. And it shouldn't be that way because why aren't you like, you ain't heard from me or are we cool or what, you know? So it was a struggle, and it's a struggle sometimes, but I do try to, if I feel like God is putting somebody on my heart, then I will text.
That's different though, I feel.
I mean, it is, but again, it's still those people that like, maybe I ain't heard from, and I'm in my mind, I'm like, look, I'm not calling them. I'm not saying I texted them the last time.
Like, Lord,
but
let's compromise.
I still like just check in and be like, hey girl, just thinking about you, like, you know.
I also feel like God ain't gonna make you do it like repeatedly.
I mean, I think why not though? Yeah.
Okay.
Because especially again, thinking about people where they are, and maybe that person, like maybe they've never had to be in a relationship where they needed to respond that way. You know, maybe everybody has always catered to them, call, talk, whatever.
Or if you give me that $500, I need to be helping you move. I need to help you move.
You're the first person I'm calling. No, I'm just playing. But y'all, you get what I'm saying though.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So I think that's an interesting concept. So because I think a lot of times people equate like the reciprocity with like it being equal. So if I give you $100, I need to give you $100 back.
Yeah.
If I call you once, I need to receive a call from you.
Yeah.
But it can be you can show love and genuine care for somebody in different vessels in different ways.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So like maybe I don't call you all the time, but let's say you have an event and I show up. Like that's me, you know, giving back or, you know, giving back to that relationship or something like that. And again, like to me, life is life. There's always something going on. So like I have things, you know, sometimes that are going on and maybe I don't feel like reaching out, but I feel like I still do. Yeah. And so to me, that's why I feel like that. Like, why can't that person or why, you know, those individuals can't do the same in return? So
do you have like a little intervention, a little mini intervention?
No.
So you don't object. Okay, so you don't objectively say, hey.
Nope.
Really?
Nope. Because I feel like maybe it's a part of like rejection. So like, what if I do say it and then nothing changes?
Girl, I'm saying something.
But I mean, again, maybe it's just, to me, I'll put that friendship in the box. Okay. So again, the box is, I will text you when I, you know, think about you. Since you're not, you know, texting me, I still love you, but I'm just not like watering or nurturing that friendship as much as I am the other ones that are giving me their time and energy.
That's good.
Yeah.
Okay, so I guess we have to wrap this thing up. So your homework is to show your friends love. So those friends that are showing up for you, call them, text them, send them a little handwritten note. Do something to let them know that you're there and you're supporting them and you do love them. Okay.
Yeah. Call them and tell me you want to hang out.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
How you spell love? Food.
I know that's right.
All right, y'all.
We love y'all.
Do good things.
All right.
You want to stop?